One of the simplest and most effective ways to use TextIt is by creating registration flows for new patients. In this example, we'll build a maternity registration flow. Once the flow is complete, we'll explore how we can use the collected information to support mothers throughout their pregnancy and postpartum. First, let's go in and set up that registration flow together. I'd like to create a trigger for this flow, so I'm going to go ahead and click Edit, Keyword Triggers, maybe pregnant. Okay, so any contact that writes in with this keyword pregnant will trigger our maternity registration flow. I'll start with a message. So scroll down and choose Send the Contact a Message action. Hello, congratulations on your pregnancy. To register for maternity care clinic and receive regular checkup appointment reminders, please answer the following questions. First, I'm going to collect the patient's name. From here, I'm going to add a wait for response. I'm going to leave this rule blank since we're collecting names. I'll name the result patient name. It's important to name the result because we're going to reference it later on in our flow. Optional, I can choose to continue when there is no response. I'm not going to choose this because I definitely need to collect the name from my patient. I'll click OK. Next, I'm going to add and update the contact action. Scroll down, update the contact. What do I want to update? I would like to update the field name. Now I need to tell it where it's going to get that information from. So I'm going to reference my results at results dot, there's my result I just created. It should pop up, patient name. Click OK. I'm going to add a message that goes with that action. Scroll down, send the contact a message. Since I have collected the contact's name, I can now reference it. Next, I'm going to collect the patient's expected due date. I'm going to tell them which format I would like them to answer in. It's always useful to provide this information to your contacts so that you don't get stuck in a loop of asking for information again and again. Click OK. Next, I'm going to add a wait for response. First, I'm going to choose has a date before. The date cannot be before today because it's a due date, so I'll put today plus 0 days. I'll categorize this as too early. Next, if the date is after today plus about 280 days, the length of an average pregnancy, this is going to be too late. For the third rule, I'm going to put has a date. I'll categorize that as valid. So this is going to pick up any date that doesn't fall between today and 280 days from now. Okay, I'm going to name this result patient due date. Click OK. Here we can see that the contact is basically split between 4 different options. So if they are too early, I'll send them a message and let them know. Okay, I'm going to loop them back into that wait for response. If it's too late, I'm also going to let them know. Click OK. Other means that they just sent me an inaccurate date format, so I'm going to remind them how I would like them to respond. I'm also going to send them back into that wait for a response. Contacts that do send us a valid due date, I'm going to send them this way, and I'm going to choose to update the contact. What would I like to update? I've already gone in and added a custom field called due date. If you're not sure how to do that, you can watch our video on fields. Where are we getting this due date from? I'm going to add my results, results.patient due date. Click OK. I'm also going to send the contact a message letting them know this is the end of the flow. You'll receive appointment reminders and tips on how to maintain a healthy pregnancy. Click OK. One last step, I'd like to add this contact to a group. I can click on that little plus button again, scroll down, add the contact to a group. Here we can either create a group or choose one we've already created. I have one called Registered Mothers. Choose that, click OK. Reviewing my flow, it looks like I did miss connecting a node here. So I'm going to go ahead and click create a node that sends the contact back to the wait for response when they receive this message, just like when they received the message that it was too early. Once we've finished creating our flow, we always want to make sure we run it in the flow simulator before we send it out to real contacts. Over here on the right hand side, the green icon says run in simulator. Click there. Okay, so when this flow is triggered, we'll receive this welcome message asking for our name. I'll enter my name. In the flow simulator, we not only see the response from the bot, but we also see the actions that were completed. So we can see here the result was saved as Susie Sue, and then those results were set to the contact's name field. Next, we're asking for the due date. Let's enter an incorrect format and see if it responds as we expect. All right, 2024, that looks like a date that's too early. Please try again. That's what we were hoping. Put in a correct due date. Okay, we can see that the contact's due date was set to 09/09/2025. We also added them to the registered mothers group, and they received the final message in the flow and exited it. As always, if you need any additional help creating this flow, please reach out to the chat widget at the bottom of the page. In our next video, we're going to be using the information we collected in this flow to create a campaign for the registered mothers. Follow along.